Honorable Member for ASHAIMAN, question 384 for the Employment and Labor Relations Minister. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations the list of 744,601 jobs in the agricultural value chain captured in his answer to a parliamentary question on December 8, 2017. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it should be recalled that on the 8th of December 2017, I appeared before this August House to respond to a question on steps being taken by my ministry to create jobs for Ghanaians. In my response, I put forward before this House figures on jobs being created as a result of the many interventions being introduced by government. In view of this, I quoted statistics from the Planting for Food and Jobs program being implemented by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as part of the jobs created by government. The Planting for Food and Jobs program, as at the time of my address, had created an estimated 744,601 jobs. This figure, Mr. Speaker, has since been updated to 750,027 jobs by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Mr. Speaker, these jobs range from fertilizer distribution, seed distribution, input distribution, to extension services and data processing, among others. List of jobs created under the Planting for Food and Jobs in 2017 are as follows. Fertilizer distribution, 9,853. Seed distribution outlets, 2,160. Input distribution by district assemblies, 1,080. Area expansion due to jobs created as a result of area expansion due to Planting for Food and Jobs, 720,000. Machine operations led to the creation of 2,160 jobs. Post-harvest processing, 2,160. Marketing, 3,000. Warehouse and storage, 2,160. Milling services for rice, 4,320. Extension agents, 2,270. Agriculture, 864. Mr. Speaker, this brings the total to 750,027 jobs. This data is a public record and can be verified at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the table, we have one, fertilizer distribution, 9,853, and seed distribution outlet, 2,160. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Honorable Minister, are the people who distribute the fertilizers different from those who distribute the seeds? And how many of them are physically at post at this particular time? Are these jobs permanent or temporal? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, the distributors of fertilizers are not the same as those who distributed seed. The fertilizers, most of them were cut from the port in Tema and distributed to the various districts. Most of the seeds were also distributed from the production point to the user end. So they were not from the same source, and it is not possible the same persons could have been used in the same business. As to whether the people that were engaged are still at post or not, Mr. Speaker, I will not be in a position to tell for now, because they were engaged at the peak season. I cannot tell whether in the off season they will still be at post. But Mr. Speaker, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, defines job as any activity which gives an income to a person if a person was engaged for 1 hour within a week. That is the international definition of job. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, from what the minister is telling us, invariably, these are not permanent jobs, but temporary jobs. These are not permanent jobs, but temporary jobs, from what you are telling us now.
Mr. Speaker, I thought I gave the international definition of a job, and that's exactly what I did, sir.
Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, point 9, first point 4 on the table, area expansion due to PFG, 2 persons per hectare. Area expansion due to PFG. Is he telling us, the minister telling us, that 2 persons per hectare for all the jobs allocated here? Because from point 4, you are saying area expansion due to PFG, 2 persons per hectare. Is that right? So therefore, I'm asking, if 2 persons are allocated for 2 hectares.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in all, 360 hectares, 360,000 hectares were cultivated under the Planted for Food and Jobs. Mr. Speaker, experts have indicated that it takes 2 persons to cultivate an area of 1 hectare. So, Mr. Speaker, by that, the 360,000 hectares resulted in creating jobs for 720,000 persons.
The last one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Point.
Yes, Honorable Madam.
My last point on point 9 on the table, the milling service for rice. Point 9 on the table
Honorable,
talks
you have
about
done
milling
3.
services.
You have exhausted your supplementaries.
No, these 2. I did only 2. This is the 3rd one. Right, Honorable Speaker, this
And we are ending soon.
is my 3rd question.
The time is exhausted. Yes. Question star 418, who stands in the name of the Honorable Member for ASHAIMAN.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, please this question was asked some few months ago and has been answered. But it's been repeated here, perhaps because nothing is being done on the road. So, in order not to waste time, Mr. Speaker, I want the minister to just assure us, give an update, or give us an update on the road, especially on the Lashivi-Klagon road, in order not to waste time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Minister, assurance.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is assured that the works will be completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, any other assurance you want? I think that ends your question.
Follow-up question. Follow-up question. Mr. Speaker, I think my leader is up, so I'll yield to the leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes,
thank
Honorable,
you very much. The Deputy Minister for Road and Highway is giving an assurance, but the assurance is an open assurance which has no time bound. Can the Minister be careful, mindful to that situation and then give us date by which that assurance will be fulfilled?
Honorable Minister, the Deputy Minority Leader wants a closed assurance. Please answer the question.
Mr. Speaker, it's difficult to give time bounds in such situations. And I'm assuring him that I think the challenge on the project is that the contractor has not been paid for some of the RPCs that has been raised. The government is also making frantic efforts in raising monies to pay for projects funded from the consolidated fund. So I believe in no time the contractor will get some money and then go back to work. So, Mr. Speaker, he is assured that works will continue to completion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, we appreciate your attending to the House and answering our questions. You are now discharged. Honorable Minister, that ends question time.